Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be bringing you my reading goals for 2017. Yes, I am in a thermal poof hat because it is breathtakingly cold outside and because JMU just won the FCS National Championship and I am a happy bunny to see my alma mater do so well. As you can tell, I was just watching the game, so I am in full spirit gear. I'm very excited, but we're here for the reading. I set myself some pretty simple reading goals in 2016, and I really kept to them, and that's part of why I'd made them so simple. This year my goals aren't actually going to change too much, but I think I should probably amend this title and call it my creative goals for 2017. As it pertains to reading, I am once again going to try to read only books that I really want to read and when I want to read them. This served me really well last year because I didn't feel bad if, say, I didn't read for an extended period of time. And I never felt pressured to constantly keep reading, even if I wasn't, say, enjoying a book all that much. The big exception being arcs. If I'm sent an arc, even if I'm not enjoying it, I'm going to finish it because I don't like to review books unless I finish them. I don't think it serves a book well if I try and review it based on, say, only half of it. And again, like last year, I'm not really setting myself a Goodreads goal. I set a number on Goodreads really so it would stop annoying me to join the challenge, so the goal hasn't changed. It's the same as last year. It's 100 books, and I'm fairly certain I will read at least 100 books this year, given how much I tend to read. But again, not really gonna focus on a challenge again this year. Just not interested in it. I think once you try to do 365 and end up reading 391, I think that just sort of breaks you in terms of challenges. Nah, that's it. Can't do them anymore. That experience was just, equal parts fun, but also really put me off trying to do number challenges. But a big difference between this year and last year is that I actually have a TBR for this year. Again, because I focused on trying to read only what I wanted to read in the moment, it meant that I did acquire some books that either I started and stopped or just never really got to, and in some cases, admittedly sort of forgot that I had sitting in my Kindle library. And so this year, my goal is to read those books. A handful of them are arcs, so they will get read because I'm going to read them and then review them. But the ones that aren't arcs, really for me, are also ones where I'm I would really like to read these books this year. So I'm going to try to set myself time so that these books don't pile up and that I don't feel stressed about them and that I read, if not every day, most days. Outside of reading, I'm going to try to do more videos that aren't just wrap-ups. This admittedly can get hard when I have days or months where I'm particularly busy, so work's going crazy or there's stuff outside of work that just snowballs out of control and I just don't have time to film or edit. It's usually that I don't have time to edit. Filming doesn't often take me that long, it's the editing that can. So I'm gonna do my best to try and do some more at least reviews or discussion videos. I really enjoyed making the discussions that I did at the tail end of last year, so the one on Revolution Stories and the one on Roman Empire Reign of Blood. Those were videos I really enjoyed making. So I might try to do some more like that, but it's one of the hopeful goals of this year. And finally, my other big creative goal I'm going to be working towards this year is to finish the Nano novel I started in 2015. Actually, to be fair, I kind of started this novel in 2014. I initially started it for the 2014 NaNoWriMo, and I made 50K barely that year, and I'd realized that I had not properly planned it, kind of bitten off more than I could chew, and just was not prepared to keep going, and I didn't like the direction it was going. So I went into 2015 having essentially scrapped that entire initial 50K that I'd written. I think I kept part of the opening, and that was it. And I kept the characters and a lot of the ideas, but the actual words themselves, they were gone. I didn't want to look at them ever again because they were terrible when I went back and reread them. So in 2015, I started again, and 2015 was a great Nano. I think I finished the quickest I've ever finished. I wrote something like 65,000 words or more. I had a really good Nano and I was really excited. And then, if you recall, in 2015 in November, I got injured. I got hurt. I hurt my back, which turned into a diagnosis that was a spinal anomaly that basically causes me eternal back pain and discomfort. So unless I want to get a needle injecting steroids into my spine, not a real fan of that. I basically just live with kind of general pain and discomfort. It's never anything like crippling, like I can't continue with day-to-day life, but it's something I need to be constantly aware of. And at the time, that was near crippling pain at first. It was so painful. I couldn't really focus, and then I got depressed when I couldn't really work out, and there were tons of other things that happened, and the novel kind of got pushed aside, especially in 2016. Every time I would try to go back to it, it was really hard to immerse myself back into the world and the characters and this writing style that I had set out for it, which I realized every time I tried to dive back into it that, holy crap, I actually had a very specific writing style I was maintaining for this book. But in 2017, this novel deserves to be finished. Like, it's been so long, it's so relatively close to being done, it deserves to be finished. So I'm going to be spending this year trying to finish it. Doesn't mean I'll write every day. I'm not that type of writer. I will try, but if every week I can say, okay, I wrote something towards this, like we are making progress, then good. I will feel like I've done something. So that's it. Those are my 2017 goals, and so until next time, cheers, and go Dukes!